Welcome to Gaming Input. I'm Marky,
And this is Freddy.
and we've got a lot of Nintendo Switch deals for you, and a surprise system for Mario Day, and much more.
If you're new to our gaming channel, you're welcome. However, if you're a returning viewer, please consider subscribing. It will really help us a lot. Anyway, let's get started on the Nintendo Switch deals.
One I'm willing to mention is a recent favorite of mine that I've been jumping back into. It's Dead Cells, the Medley of Pain Edition, which is sitting at about $31.99, which is pretty good from about a $40 price tag. And what it is the original Dead Cells game with all of the packaged DLC that's come out with it thus far, with the big promotion being the Return to Castlevania DLC, which obviously being the big crossover that Dead Cells was obviously inspired from, getting to work in Castlevania has been honestly the big get. And with Dead Cells being a roguelite, where you just essentially die, start over, but you have different weapons, and you can make slight improvements to the way you find loot, or to the gear that you can bring with you on each of the gifts, kind of just make it endlessly addictive, as roguelites tend to be. This is definitely on one of the higher ends of all the other ones, up there with Hades and such. And having this big crossover with Castlevania just makes it all the more fun, especially if you're a big Konami fan. A lot of weapons, a lot of outfits, a lot of things that you can just enjoy from Castlevania, while also getting the fun and exciting loop that Dead Cells is very well known for. And you can get all the DLC and get yourself strong as possible, so that way you can enjoy it all at a pretty good price.
The other game I'm going to mention is Metro 2033 Redux for $3.74. This, in my opinion, a top-class first-person shooter survival horror game, which was made originally, maybe I would say 2014, and I will tell you this, that the game, even to this day, still is very solid and very fun to play. Don't buy this game if your main focus is to get the shooting game. This is a game where you need to focus on survival until the next day. The game takes place in the tunnel of Moscow, so the game will be dark, full of tension, and the game works surprisingly very smoothly on the Nintendo Switch. This port got an upgraded AI intelligence. It's one of the best games, in my opinion, for solo FPS. It's a perfect purchase for either a newbie or vets who wants to experience the game again in a brand new light. I definitely recommend it at this price.
We've reached that point where if you've been learning anything new about how to save some money, or if you're just interested in learning more about it, feel free to click the like button, subscribe, and of course pay attention to the comments down below. We're always interested to hear that community grow, and interested to hear what you guys have to say about any deals. We are of course branching out into Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, so that way you guys can jump on any quick flash sales or any other deals that we fail to mention as the weeks go by for other systems as well.
We also have SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated for $14.99. This is one of the best SpongeBob SquarePants video games ever made. However, the game hasn't been properly updated after the original title, which was released more than 15 years ago on the PS2 and Xbox. The gameplay didn't change much from the original. Back in the days, it was like outstanding. Today, it is just normal. However, I'm mentioning because it got an upgraded graphics. So the graphics are much better than the original. However, the gameplay did not change much. So I would say the game is really worth mentioning because it has some nostalgic feeling for a lot of us from playing it during the childhood days back on the PS2 or Xbox original one. That's why I'm mentioning this game, especially at this price. And the game could be a lot of fun for kids these days. So $14.99 is the lowest we have seen for this game for a while.
That surprise system I mentioned at the beginning was actually the 3DS. For those that don't know, the 3DS shop is going to be closing by the 27th of March. So anything you guys need to grab on that is up to get, because you can download them and keep them, so that way you won't be able to lose out on any of them, because there's going to be sadly a lot of stuff disappearing once the shop closed down. The good news is that a lot of games, specifically from Capcom, are putting themselves out there to be at a huge discount. So any of these games that you're interested in grabbing in, I'm going to list them out for you, and they're extremely low prices because they're all sitting at about $2.99, which I think, you know, it was crazy back then, but having your 3DS around and having these games is very nice just to kind of have as a backup. We got Mega Man Legacy Collection, Monster Hunter 3, 4, and Generations, Resident Evil Revelations, and Super Street Fighter 4. All of these are sitting at just $3. Any of these you're interested in. Heck, Street Fighter 4, you know Street Fighter 4, but if you ever mess with that 3DS version just for the heck of it, that $3 price tag I think is worth it. And so yeah, we wanted to throw that out there. We don't mention the 3DS often, and I don't think we ever will again, sadly. But these games are at their lowest price that I think anyone's ever seen, and you can grab these now before it's too late. We appreciate you guys for sticking through to the end.
If you got PS4, PS5, or Nintendo Switch, we also got you covered. Make sure to check our playlists.
Thanks again, and we'll see you guys real soon.